So I have seen a lot of complaints from people, vivid complaints, who try to say that the Defenders, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones are now just uninteresting fluff compared to the now groundbreaking first season of the hit show Daredevil that aired on Netflix last year as part of the official MCU canon. I don't think people realize the intention of Marvel's plan by delaying these shows like The Punisher and Daredevil Season 3 to 2018. I think that the problem is they have a lot on their plate right now, and that these shows were probably not included in the initial plan, especially in Punisher's case in regards to what they had to finish, which was The Defenders. If you go look at countless articles, it almost seems like Kevin Feige is venting out the same words ad nauseum by blatantly telling the fans that some of these additions to the MCU are only future possibilities for the Netflix series, and nothing was really going to be set in stone until that team up with the Defenders actually got off the ground. Now, I think of positive possibilities when it comes to this, so think about Ghost Rider from Season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's working out well. People love him. People love how Robbie Reyes is portrayed, and I think that can open up doors for him to have his own Netflix series. I think that a lot of people are still interested in seeing Blade reinvigorated for the modern masses as well, so that can open up quite a bit of doors. So going back to the Feige statement, I think that statement is a little bit more inexcusable now, considering the fact that they started filming for Defenders. They have the number of episodes plotted out. They have everything they need. They got Iron Fist cast. However, when it comes to the Daredevil delay, this makes sense because look at all the stuff they had on their plate beforehand and the stuff they're planning out now. Things take time, and if you look at Season 2 of Daredevil, the main complaint was there wasn't enough Fists, there wasn't enough Punisher, and while these are all legitimate complaints, people were also saying that Elektra made the overall Season 2 arc boring of Daredevil because of her introduction. Now, I think that Elektra was vital because it shows that Matt is a fallible character. He makes mistakes, he acts on them, and sometimes while he has good intentions, they're not really good to the friends around him. They affect everyone around him, and sometimes he rarely notices this, and I thought that was a great job on the behalf of the show writers. So I want you all to think about this for a second. If they really are adapting the Born Again arc, they have to make that arc full of Fist destroying Matt's life. They have to correct all the issues from Season 2. They have to fit this all into the story of how Matt's life is progressing on this downward spiral visually. Also, we're all aware that Karen Page is a major benefactor in the downfall of Matt Murdock because she sells his identity when she gets hooked onto heroin and drugs to one of Kingpin's goons, which forces him to go out and try to destroy Matt's life. He firebombs his apartment. A lot of interesting shit happens, and they bring in Nuke eventually in this story, so I guess that since Simpson was in Jessica Jones, and while Nuke was a major player in the Born Again arc, they could always bring in more people since the MCU likes to take in liberties like Bullseye. You have to understand that they also have to add in more post-story content after the Defenders, and how did it affect Matt personally, since him and Foggy Nelson's going to be involved in that encounter. So I don't know about you guys, but all that rolled into a show that spans over 1 hour per episode is probably a daunting task, not to mention that Daredevil is probably still going to be focused on high-octane fight sequences, which are not done in a hasty, sloppy manner. That takes choreography, which takes time. So, going back to the video's namesake, I think this is perfect of why Daredevil Season 3 needs to be delayed, as well as The Punisher. They need time to think, evaluate, plan, and plot accordingly. And this offers us more quality and quantity at the same time, considering that there's so much new stuff coming out. I think personally 2 years won't kill me. Some scenes in Daredevil Season 2 actually are more entertaining than Season 1 because of the interaction with Matt and new characters. You kind of already know with the first season that it's an origin story, so you go in expecting that. With the way the MCU is coordinated, with the way this is established, it sort of adds a new layer of unpredictability to already established comic book characters, because you're seeing them do new things in new forms, having new agendas, having new twists and turns in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In conclusion, I don't think that Marvel's Daredevil is a series that I would say that is wonky in comparison to the original Ben Fleck version. It's rooted in a lot more crime and corruption and disarray to the events that transpired in Hell's Kitchen. With Luke Cage already getting critical acclaim from 7 episodes reviewed, I think it's safe to say that we'll be looking at another must-watch on our hands. And if the argument still stands that Jessica Jones sucked...
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Each hero is conveyed very differently from each other tonally. They have their own personal problems and ideals as to what being a hero stands for, and I really like that application. I kinda didn't expect Jessica Jones to be flipping about taking on legions of ninjas from the hand with the grace of a karate master, and neither should you. With the news of the MCU expanding all the way to 2030, this gives me a wealth of high quality content that I'm looking forward to, so many generations could look back and say this was the best resurgence of live action superheroes to date. And compared to the 2000s, that's just another gift worth savoring. Quality and quantity yet again. This is Renegade Operative signing off. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as to why I think the Daredevil Season 3 delay was good, among other things, and hopefully you give the video a like, give me a subscription, and give some comments below as to what you think about the Netflix delay of Daredevil into 2018 and what you think about the Punisher also meeting this date as well. Do you have any sort of aspirations as to what they could put in these 2 series? And let me know in the comments. Once again, this is Renegade Operative signing off. Your like, your subscription, and your comment will really be beneficial to me in the end. I would love to converse with you guys, and once again, take care. Appreciate you all.